We give you a news headline, and you will guess the missing word or phrase. When you know the answer, just blurt it out, and if correct, keep track of your winning points in your head, with a pen, or with a counter. Quiz questions are worth 1 point. However, the 5th and 10th questions are genius-level questions, are extremely difficult, and as such are worth 3 points each. So if you get any of these quiz questions correct, consider yourself very clever indeed. As a reward, we have a bonus comedy clip for your enjoyment after the final question. The United States federal election is 2 weeks away, and the media is chock full of political coverage. There are a few quiz questions involving the political climate, but we have added a few general interest topics as well. Good luck, and have fun. And now, the first question of our quiz. Demonstrators across France rally in tribute to blank teacher. The answer is beheaded. Samuel Paty was beheaded on Friday in Conflans-Saint-Honorin by an 18-year-old Moscow-born Chechen refugee who was shot dead by police. The Biden campaign is facing renewed criticism over its deep connections with big tech after social media blank. A story from the New York Post detailing allegedly corrupt business deals by Joe Biden's son Hunter Biden. The answer is censored. The move prompted fresh criticism on social media over the Biden transition team's hiring of top Facebook executive Jessica Hertz, which reportedly came days after the 2020 Democrats' campaign penned a letter to the social media giant urging them to censor President Trump's posts. After months of suggesting that mass voting by mail amid the coronavirus pandemic would cause a blank, U.S. President Donald Trump now appears to be embracing the practice. The answer is rigged election. With less than 3 weeks until the presidential U.S. election, the Trump-Pence campaign has rolled out a social media advertising campaign encouraging voters to request their ballots by mail. People have been diving to the Titanic's wreck for 35 years. No one has found human remains, according to the company that owns the blank rights. The answer is salvage. But the company's plan to retrieve the ship's iconic radio equipment has sparked a debate. Could the world's most famous shipwreck still hold remains of passengers and crew who died a century ago? Egyptian authorities released a blank who was working for a popular satirical television program, after more than 2 years in prison without trial, a rights lawyer said Sunday. The answer is comedian. Attorney Mokhtar Monir said Shadi Abu Zaid was released from a Cairo police station late Saturday, but as part of his terms of release must report to a police station twice a week. Melania Trump, why FLOTUS, £2 million blank ring was downgraded by Donald. The answer is engagement. Some noticed that the ring was replaced in 2015 by a much larger one to celebrate the couple's 10-year wedding anniversary. Melania showed off the upgraded jewel in her official First Lady portrait. Blank has announced she will be hosting next week's Saturday Night Live. The chart-topping singer surprised fans with the news on Sunday, revealing she will host the long-running sketch show for the first time. The answer is Adele. American singer-songwriter Her is the musical guest. Adele's October 24th hosting appears to hint that the Grammy winner has new music on the way. Home blank actor Zachary Ty Bryan arrested in Oregon. The answer is improvement. This booking photo released Saturday, October 17, 2020, by the Eugene, Oregon, Police Department shows suspect Zachary Ty Bryan. Bryan, the actor who played the oldest son on the long-running 1990s sitcom, Home Improvement, was arrested Friday, October 16, 2020, in Oregon and faces charges of strangulation and assault. Blank has caused a Twitter storm after saying she's voting for Donald Trump, because he's not a politician. The answer is Kirstie Alley. The Cheers actor, who also starred in hit 80s film Look Who's Talking, is a known Trump supporter, but struck a nerve with her latest declaration. Justin Bieber's Lonely shows the dark side of blank stardom. The answer is childhood. The video was released at midnight on Friday. As of Saturday, it's already racked up over 8 million views. Congratulations, you made it. As a reward, here is your comedy clip of the day.
Yesterday I saw a guy spill all his Scrabble letters on the road. I asked him, "What's the word on the street?" Once my dog ate all the Scrabble tiles. For days he kept leaving little messages around the house. Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson went on a camping trip. After a good meal and a bottle of wine they lay down for the night, and went to sleep. Some hours later, Holmes awoke and nudged his faithful friend. "Watson, look up at the sky and tell me what you see." Watson replied, "I see millions and millions of stars." "What does that tell you?" Watson pondered for a minute. "Astronomically, it tells me that there are millions of galaxies and potentially billions of planets. Astrologically, I observe that Saturn is in Leo. Horologically, I deduce that the time is approximately 3:15. Theologically, I can see that God is all-powerful and that we are small and insignificant. Meteorologically, I suspect that we will have a beautiful day tomorrow. What does it tell you?" Holmes was silent for a minute, then spoke. "Watson, you jerk. Someone has stolen our tent." Two men are drinking in a bar at the top of the Empire State Building. One turns to the other and says, "You know, last week I discovered that if you jump from the top of this building, by the time you fall to the 10th floor, the winds around the building are so intense that they carry you around the building and back into the window." The bartender just shakes his head in disapproval while wiping the bar. The second man says, "What, are you a nut? There is no way that could happen." First man, "No, it's true, let me prove it to you." So he gets up from the bar, jumps over the balcony, and careens to the street below. When he passes the 10th floor, the high wind whips him around the building and back into the 10th floor window, and he takes the elevator back up to the bar. The second man tells him, "You know, I saw that with my own eyes, but that must have been a one-time fluke." First man, "No, I'll prove it again," and again he jumps and hurtles toward the street where the 10th floor wind gently carries him around the building and into the window. Once upstairs he urges his fellow drinker to try it. Second man, "Well, what the hell, it works, I'll try it." He jumps over the balcony, plunges downward, passes the 11th, 10th, 9th, 8th floors, and hits the sidewalk with a splat. Back upstairs the bartender turns to the other drinker, "You know, Superman, you're a real jerk when you're drunk." An Irishman's been drinking at a pub all night. When he stands up to leave, he falls flat on his face. He tries to stand one more time, but to no avail. Again, he falls flat on his face. He figures he'll crawl outside and get some fresh air, and maybe that will sober him up. Once outside, he stands up and, sure enough, he falls flat on his face. The Irishman decides to crawl the 4 blocks to his home. When he arrives at the door, he stands up and falls flat on his face. He crawls through the door into his bedroom. When he reaches his bed, he tries one more time to stand up. This time, he manages to pull himself upright, but he quickly falls right into bed. He is sound asleep as soon as his head hits the pillow. He awakens the next morning to his wife standing over him, shouting, "So, you've been out drinking again? Why do you say that?" he asks innocently. "The pub called. You left your wheelchair there again."
Gets lonely out here on my deserted island. Thank crikey I have my AI trivia game to play every morning. Make it a habit and subscribe now, and you too can start your day with 10 minutes of great fun. And you just might learn something. See you again tomorrow.